What's going on, guys?
Flashbang! Semtex out!
Team Deathmatch. We've taken the lead.
Enemy in sight! Reloading. Reloading. Cover me. Changing mag! Drag! I'm down. Grenade out! Frag out! Contact with enemy. Enemy in sight! I'm down! Cover me! I'm down! Eat that! Target's in sight! I'm hurt!
Heads up, team. Enemy UAV spotted.
Enemy in sight! Reloading. Cover me.
Yeah, and also, do you have an idea of what exactly you want to do? What you want to purchase? How much? Um, any indication of that? Absolutely, that and SoFi. Okay, yeah. So I could do 25,000 volt uh, for you, and then we'll just work out the share amounts. We don't want any 666s, right, Kurt? So we're staying away from those. So for the SoFi, that is 2,564 shares for SoFi. Do you want to round that out, or
You know,
I always prefer even number of shares. It's also easier for us from accounting purposes. So 2,500. Okay. And for Confluent, that is 1,428 shares. Uh, I would go with 1,500. Yeah, let me confirm. They're in the latter rounds. I know there has the. They're at? Yeah. See, Confluent is Databricks 2 years ago. In terms of in terms of pricing, this is now a $6 billion company. Databricks. It's the last round is 42.95. It is right now we're hearing cannot be touched under 50, and we're more looking at $60 a share. So in terms of a company that you're having to most likely pay a premium for, with Confluent, you're not going to pay as big of a premium. I would definitely recommend if 25 is your number, you just, if you can do 25 into all the three that we're talking about if we do get Confluent. And that, again, if we do get, I'm sorry, if you get Databricks. It might not even come around. And we don't pay up for something if we feel like it's too much. Yeah, and you also don't have Warren Buffett backing any IPOs. So that was also an anomaly too. That's the first IPO he ever backed, was Snowflake. So when you get that type of money flowing
You
in,
know, you love this
those are
game
big
thing.
votes of confidence. That's not happening for every IPO. So you want to get as big of a discount as you can. You want to be willing to wait a year or two for a company like Confluent, because when and if you do, and if they do a couple more rounds before that, and I even told her, if you buy early, and you have Confluent right now, and they don't go public for 2 years, but they did 2 rounds and they're now valued at 15 billion. My friend, you could sell because there will be a market for someone to buy your shares. To our network. We'll be able, yeah, we'll be able to sell those shares, or in those particular cases, if you're up a 3x on your position while it's still private, why not take your original principal off and just let the rest go? You don't need to sell your whole position either, right? Or better yet, we usually just give it to members within our fund. Yeah. Yep. And, and it might not be, those shares might not be available at that point in time, and nobody could get them. So if you were able to sell it to somebody, they would happily take a premium for it, maybe. You don't know what the situation would be like at that time. You could be, you could be like the guys that sold the Snowflake when it was valued at 34, 35. You could have been selling it at 50, like everybody else. When you bought it at 10, who knows? Yeah, it's flexibility. It's also patience. Everybody always wants. I get calls day and night about the company that's going public tomorrow, and I tell them, if you want to do pre-IPO, you got the wrong guy on the phone, and that's not the way you're going to make money doing it. You need to do your research and prepare for long term. You want the Facebook at $6. You want the Zscaler at 12.50. You want you want the Snowflake at $50. That's what you want. So you get 1 out of 5 that you buy turns into a Snowflake, and the rest are break even, or you're up between 20 to 50%. You are more than ahead of most people in the market, by far. Mhm. You're not, and scared money doesn't make money either. So you have to be willing to, apply some risk. But when you do it smart and you do it the right way with the pre-IPO world, in the long run, you will stand to make a lot of money, and that's why we do it for a living, because we know the type of potential it has. So I would love to start you off with that. I'll keep you in the loop. I will every time I get something new or I hear of something, I will let you guys know. And the same thing goes for you and the people that you know. If you hear of anything, say, hey Mike, all my guys want to do 1 million in something. Could you get access to it? I'll look and I'll do my best and try to get it for you. So. Greenlight Farms. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Usually, yeah. I'd rather the same for you. And I told Kurt that too. We had that discussion. So, you know, what people typically put 25,000 into, like you're doing with SoFi and Confluent, proven companies, proven revenue, way down the line. You know, with these earlier stage companies, 10,000 should kind of be, you know, your level in terms of those. Because you also don't want to put 5,000, because if it's the one that goes and you can make a 20x, you wish you had at least 10,000 into it. But that's where I would say you are with Greenlight Farms. Adipar is a little bit more proven. I think you could do comfortably a little bit more than 10,000 on the Adipar. They have 2 trillion in assets under management under their software. It's not some rinky-dink company. It's an extension of Palantir. This is the fintech side of Palantir. So they do everything Palantir does, but on the financial side. And their software outperforms most other competitive softwares that help with analysis. Have, Kurt, Kurt, have you ever looked or like looked on Adipar's website, or did like a yeah, I would like your feedback on that actually. Yeah, so first with Adipar, like I said, they help wealth managers manage ultra high net worth individual assets. So very complicated assets. They help sort through everything to find the right solutions for them. Everything is very well put together, graphed out.
Aesthetically pleasing.
It's there's nothing else like it in terms of specifics that they provide, and how they're able to narrow down certain assets. So that's why they have 2 trillion in assets under management on their platform. That's from 1.4, I believe, last year. So they've grown $600 billion in assets under their platform. And it's all the top guys. There's Fidelity guys, family offices. Most of these guys do not manage under $10 billion. So it's only the creme de la creme. And like I said, this is all from the same founders of Palantir, the PayPal guys. So they obviously always come through, and this could be either a big acquisition play. There's a lot of consolidation, as Kurt knows, in fintech, or in the financial industry. Excuse me. But a good example of a company that just went public, I wouldn't say they're exactly the same as Adipar, but they have some of the same tools that Adipar provides, and that's Encino. They do cloud analytics and all of that stuff for fintech companies, and help with their procedures and operations, and they do other things, but they were valued at 600 million privately. They ended up going public at a $3 billion valuation, and they are now trading at an $8 billion valuation from 600 million. Oh, you did? Okay. exactly. And I would, and I believe I touched on this with Clint as well. In terms of your liquid assets, you don't want to get too much into pre-IPOs where you're getting over 50% of your liquid assets into pre-IPOs because then you're locked up for a while. You typically you want to be at around 20 to 30% of your liquid assets. If you're aggressive, maybe a little bit more, but you don't want to get over 50%. Exactly. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. And that's the time when you also pounce on opportunities. So yeah, and just and steal the company away from them at that point. So like that's literally how you work it, and that's how the rich get richer. Is they buy in those times, right? So you know that's why you always want to leave extra powder on the side for that exact reason, and never get too overly excited about, pre-IPOs and a certain position because there's another one right around the corner that if you put too much into the last one, you missed out on this one because you don't have enough capital to do it. So, you know, play it smart. It's like getting a tattoo. Once you get one, you don't want to stop, but, take a break in between the tattoos, so to speak. But I'm always going to give you what I feel is the advice I would give myself if I was making a decision. And I've told Kurt about Airbnb and the price we have it now, and out of all of them, that's the one where that's the most contrarian investment out of all of them, where you're just betting on a huge rebound. And if there is a rebound in the travel space, it's going to do phenomenal. But if this second wave of COVID continues to hold us down, they're going to be in a tough spot, and they need to go public before 2021. So, okay. Well, I would always tell people to incorporate at least $10,000 into Greenlight. Just because we pretty much started this company from a concept. It was a concept. Before it even broke ground, we were raising capital for it. It's one of our longtime members that actually started this company, and we helped. Yeah, and we helped raise capital for them. They went through 20 years of research, researching hydroponic farming for everything you could think of. Fruits, vegetables, shrimp, tilapia, you name it, okay? And out of all of them, they chose spinach. So like leafy greens, spinach, kale, romaine, basil, any of those. That's what they focus on. Mostly spinach and kale. Um, and there's reasons for that. The turnover is unbelievable. So with this fully automated hydroponic farm, the first one that was built and already at full capacity in South Florida, every ounce of leafy green is sold, and we're on the second location. Publix, the biggest chain down there, and Cisco Foods, the biggest wholesaler down there, they both took all of our inventory. Okay, so now we're on the second. That's going to be 4 times the size. This one is 150,000 square feet. it produces 800,000 pounds of leafy greens a year. They're able to do 23 harvests in 25 locations. That means that they're able to
And was this right? And was that right?
because they actually seal it at a specific temperature, at an optimal temperature that will lead it
Maybe
to
size?
preserve for the longest
Oh.
amount of time. So you can literally have this for 6
I said I
weeks
wanted to try.
and still be able to cook it or eat it. So that's where we are now. We're on the second location. It's going to be 4 times the size. They're also doing another one in Naples, which is going to be the same size as this one. They have 2 other ones that they're looking to open up within the next 18 to 24 months on top of those. At that point, they'll be doing about
That's my noodle. That's my noodle. That's my noodle. That's my noodle.
the cost